Bill and Ted. What a
God damn!
Damn. Oh, that does not look good.
Shit! Let's go back. Go back in time. Go back. Go back.
Oh.
Bill and Ted, boy, I have never
Bill and
seen a
Ted.
Bill and Ted movie at all. So everybody's been talking about Bill and Ted, and I have no fucking clue what the big deal is about Bill and Ted. Not that I'm saying there shouldn't be. I just don't know because I've never seen a Bill and Ted movie. Never saw the first one.
Starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston.
Who was Joan of Arc. And Ted.
Noah's wife.
We're in. Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Excellent.
I remember seeing this trailer a long time ago. I was like, what the fuck is this? This rip-off Wayne's World shit right here. And then it ended up being a huge hit. And everybody's, even everybody in the room, you guys were saying, no, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, you watch the trailer and you're like, yeah, what is this? And I remember going to the theater to see it with friends. And we were all like, wow, that was really fun and funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Things that they never said about the second film.
It's adorable, really.
It really is.
Let me see.
It's touching in some places. It really is.
And as much as you go like, okay, these guys are just Beavis and Butthead, but you're like, oh, you know what? They got something to them.
Right, and you really do understand why they're doing what they're doing.
This one, yeah, no, you know the way you guys are talking about the first one right now. I've never heard anybody talk that way about the second film.
We got totally lied to by our album covers. Bucket of chicken.
Yeah, that dumbass shit didn't work the second time around. Apparently, even though Heard has become a big cult hit, the death character is something that everybody really remembers from this and saying that was fun.
He was funny. He was funny.
He was the one thing I remember from the second movie that I liked.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people they say, you know what? Over time, it's not even about the movie. I just love Bill and Ted. I don't care what they in.
Friends.
Excuse us, dude, but is there any way we can get back?
You may challenge me to a contest.
J7.
You have sunk my battleship.
Excellent!
Oh, Bill and Ted, we can't stay mad at you, even when you make a shitty sequel. I like it.
I'll be honest with you, that sequence was funny.
Yeah,
when he's like, you have to challenge me to, and they keep playing all these weird. They end up playing Twister.
The whole playoff of Higmar Bergman. You're like, wow, you would never expect a reference like that in this movie, and they take it all away. It's pretty good.
I tell you, it's not that I have not ever seen anything that Bill and Ted have done. It's just that I've never seen the real Bill and Ted do anything. They have because they had that cartoon. Martin reminded me they got that cartoon. Like I've never seen the flesh and blood Bill and Ted do anything, but Martin reminded me, and I forgot they had a cartoon a long time ago.
Yeah, it was on Saturday morning.
It was on Saturday, and it wasn't bad. It
was good.
And here's the intro. I mean, I'll tell you one thing about this. They nailed Bill and Ted with those caricatures, man.
Yeah, they nailed them.
Been selected for most important journey.
Whenever time stands still.
Okay, I don't remember this shitty song.
I know.
I'll tell you that right now.
I know.
It's Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
I was open the whole time.
Yeah. But I do remember the cartoon being fun. So it's not like I haven't seen anything.
Well, the cool thing about the cartoon was besides you go like, okay, it's about these two dumbasses. This cartoon will be funny. But you watch it, you're like, you know what? They actually are teaching kids about history.
They are.
Wow, that is fun. Who knew? Who would have known these two dumbasses would be making people smart?
Well, that's the motivation in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because they end up going in time and then learning about the real people.
Yeah. Because kids love dumb shit. But this, it sounds like this was, like you said, sneaky, some dumb shit that actually made you smart. I don't even remember that with that show. I remember watching it and thinking like, oh, the animation's cool. They got a cool design. But as I said, never seen the real Bill and Ted. Let's go ahead. Let me see here. I think I have the trailer right here because right now you had Bill and Ted where they had an excellent adventure. I told you they took that bogus journey. And now some people say, and I even think you said this, yeah, that last movie was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was.
It's time for you to face the music.
Face the music, right, goddammit.
Yeah, man. Let me see here.
Do your penance.
Oh, there we go. Let's pull out the trailer here, or the teaser rather, which just came out right before the show started. So I'm just pulling this up. I haven't even seen this thing. Let's watch the trailer for Bill and Ted Face the Music, and we'll get the opinion of people who have seen the other movies and whether this gets them excited, and whether somebody who has never seen this, does it pique my interest at all? Does it make me want to go back and watch the other films? Let's take a look.
You Played in Barstow, California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night. Bill and Ted. What a
God damn.
Damn. Oh, that does not look good.
Shit. Let's go back. Go back in time. Go back. Go back.
Oh. Why we see Keanu look better than that? What's going on?
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. We've seen him look way better than
Okay,
that.
so here's something with Keanu Reeves, man.
Because he had a shave.
Because a lot of people talk about how Keanu Reeves, they say, man, that dude never ages. That beard's been covering up some shit.
Yeah.
That beard's been covering up some hard times. That beard is
I guess so.
It's funny how that
between the beard and the scars.
we all went, go.
Yeah. It's not saying that they're ugly dudes. I mean, they're handsome, man, but it's just
You're like, oh yeah, they're middle aged.
I just saw Bill and Ted. You know, you got to excuse the shock right there.
Yeah.
And plus, I got to tell you, man, that I just got to get used to it. That dust on his face did a lot for him. I'm just not used to seeing him without that for a while.
He stayed with that beard when he's not working.
Shit, everybody talking about how Keanu, man, he ain't aging. Shit, that beard must have been his fountain of youth because once that shit came off, once he shaved, all that shit said, yo.
It's his picture of Dorian Gray.
Right?
I ain't talking, Keanu Reeves is a handsome man, but I got you watch a couple of Bill and Ted trailers and you see this.
It says teenagers.
Yeah. And then you see this shit, you got to give me a moment, y'all.
and dressed as teenagers there.
Shit, that'd be like if you and I came like you just saw a video of Martin and I in high school together, and then you cut on this shit today. We're like, hey, everybody.
Oh, I didn't know they were going to get their dads to do the show.
But also but dressed like you were back then.
Right.
That's what's so jarring.
Shit, if we showed you a video of what we used to do back on The Real Deal, we used to do a cable access show. If we showed you us from 1995.
Nah, brother, you still look the same.
Okay. Because you know what?
People come to me all the time. They go like, man, Corey hasn't changed. I'm like, I know, right? It's a pretty goddamn annoying. Isn't
That's
it?
why I'm never growing a beard. Because if I shave that shit, you're going to be like, folks, I'm telling you, this is my first time seeing the trailer, so I'm sorry for that reaction. It was uncalled for.
They both look good for their age.
They do. They do. That was shitty on my part. I should not have had that reaction. I'm sorry.
It was an honest reaction.
But it was the most honest reaction you could get. God damn!
Even I was like, jeez, what the hell?
to say for yourselves.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. Stealing if we're stealing it from ourselves.
Okay, ain't no makeup, man.
That's not,
It's not no makeup. It's almost like Keanu Reeves forgot how to do the character almost.
Yeah.
Like because before it was just rolling off his.
I
Now
know.
he sounds like he's doing
Like Keanu?
Well, no, he sounds like he's making we make fun of him. That's what he sounds like.
Like you can see him acting.
Right.
Way before he was the character.
He's doing a Keanu Reeves impression.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like he's like, man, I haven't looked back at that in so long.
Oh,
let me
shit.
let me look at it right before I read my lines.
How'd you like our song? It's a little on the dark side, but you know, that's cool.
Okay, it's funny because now I'm
A lot of John Wick in that voice.
I was like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm confused. I'm so confused now, man. This is like some Inception type shit that's going on with Keanu Reeves. I can't tell who's who anymore because everybody's talking about how I've seen some people say, and I was one of them. I saw like they put this up, and before I even saw the trailer right now, and I say, well, you know what? I mean, with that hair, hold on, like with that hair right there.
Yeah.
I say, all I'm gonna be watching this movie is John Wick. But then I'm like, but the funny thing is like when I watch John Wick, Keanu Reeves has always been Ted to me. So when I watch John Wick, I've always taken it as I'm watching a killer Ted. But now I watch this, and it's like, okay, he sounds like John Wick. I don't know who's who, what's up, what's down anymore. I don't know what the is happening.
It's almost like he's doing several impressions of himself.
Yeah,
and he's getting mixed. Which ones?
When I watched him in John Wick, I watched Ted, even though I haven't seen a Bill and Ted movie. And now I'm watching this, and I'm like, I'm watching Bill and Ted, but I'm hearing John Wick.
It's a little on the dark side, but you know.
But yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm back.
And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
He's gonna be Neo at some point. In the movie.
You know what? I don't care what he does as long as he doesn't do what he did in Dracula. I'm cool.
That's true. That's true.
Shit.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I can't tell what's going on in the world with Keanu Reeves. But I will say this: not knowing anything about Bill and Ted, I guess a good sign for me is that you heard me laugh out loud a couple of things.
Yeah.
The whole thing where they talked about how you play for taco night.
California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night.
You know, I laughed that loud at that, man.
Well, that was the thing, because with the first one, so much of it is they get told early in the movie that when you guys get to the future, you play this concert and it unites the whole world. You're like gods to us in the future, and you're like, psh, all right, these two dumbasses. And you watch the movie and you see it like it come together. You're like, oh, that's so great.
Right.
So with the second movie, they kind of like, something happened to time stream, and we got to correct it. It's like, it's cheap ass premise.
You
Come on,
lose again.
Yeah. Now with this, when I had people going like, man, they're gonna make another one. They talking about it.
Yeah.
It's been written. Keanu's thinking about it, and I was like, I don't really want to see this. But then I was told, well, the premise is that they told they were gonna do all this cool shit, and they end up just being a bunch of middle-aged losers. And I was like, all right. You got me intrigued now. You could do something with that.
Yeah.
So watching this, I'm like, all right, but watching them actually do it, it looks more like something you do for a charity event.
Well, a lot of people are saying,
Or
man,
Funny or Die sketch.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you know what? That's the funny thing. This has, I say for one, well, there's two things. There's two things happening here. Everything, you know, I had that sequel, and everybody talks about how that sequel was not good. You know, the sequel was a disappointment, even though it's gone on to be kind of a cult film for people who really love Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I think between people just loving the characters of Bill and Ted, and I also think that The Matrix, I mean, not The Matrix, well, yeah, The Matrix, but mainly John Wick. John Wick kind of helped push that because, you know, everybody loves Keanu Reeves now. So regardless of whether the last one was terrible or not, with Keanu Reeves being this great character that everybody loves, you know, everybody just loving Bill and Ted, and plus everybody just like, man, I just want to laugh at something now. Just kinda like, this is what we need. So how you feel about it, man? You're a fan of the movies?
And your best friend is named Ted.
Yeah, guy. No, I'm kidding. No. I'll be honest. Not to be a dick. That first shot, I was like, "Woo!"
Man, we all did that. So you can't stand alone. Again, I apologize. That was wrong.
Well, it's one of those things. Also, one of the heart and souls of that first one too. Actually, is also George Carlin playing Rufus.
Yeah, it's true.
And that was great. And I mean, this is just like what I was going downhill, and I was like, man. Until this scene right over here at the end, which kind of gets back to the spirit of it, where they go, you know, and with themselves and alternate versions of themselves, and go and see people in the past and the future and that kind of stuff. That gets back to it right there. There's other stuff I was like, this looks like a big jumbled mess, and also with them also being losers again, they did that shit in the second one. It's like, wait, I thought they came out on top this last time, and they came out on top at the end of the second one too. So I guess we'll see what happens with this one.
See. I mean, I'm sure.
But I mean, just his voice though, I'm like, what's happening there? And he's not moving like he used to, and
very stiff.
You know, and we've seen him do action, so we know ain't nothing wrong with his back.
Can I say I've criticized Keanu Reeves heavily, and I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. Like I would just point it out like it is. Y'all know what I say, but I just love Keanu Reeves. You know, kind of like I love Schwarzenegger. You know, they transcended the acting or whatever limitations they have with it. For me.
Sure, screen presence can do a lot, and he's got a hell of a lot of screen presence.
And plus, I think it's just his perceived persona off camera. And John Wick is just one of my, except for the last movie, but one of my favorite series out there. I'm looking forward to see what they do with another one. But I love John Wick, man. John Wick is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love the first one.
Yeah, the first one I love completely. I love the second one too.
I wasn't crazy about the second one. But
third one, yeah. What do you need? But you know, so I think a lot of people just love Keanu Reeves as a person. They just want to see anything he's doing right now. And some people made some great observations in the chat. They said, you know what? I'm just happy to see a trailer because we haven't had any movies or anything like that for big movies going to theaters. And people like, I'm just happy to see a trailer. I just like these guys. So, Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. I big compliment to this. It made me say I better go brush up on my Bill and Ted. I want to go watch the other movie, even the shitty second one, man. I want to go watch.
I mean, there's good things in it.
Is it?
Yeah, there's good things in it. Like William Sadler is
Sadler's
hilarious.
death,
in it.
yeah.
He's great in it.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely go and watch those movies now. Maybe I can do a review for a movie that I haven't seen before, which is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then we'll do the sequel at some point. When's the last time you've seen Bill and Ted?
Ooh, it's been many decades.
Many decades.
Yeah.
Wow. So, do you think it would be like watching it fresh again?
I take that back because that was one of the movies when my kids were younger. Do I own it? I know I showed it to them. We all watched it together.
Okay, and the chat is saying, go watch the first two. You know what? When it gets close to this movie coming out.
Yeah, I take that back. It's probably been about 12 years since I've seen it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. As the date gets closer to the movie coming out, whether it's on VOD or goes to the theater, whatever we do with it, we'll try to see if we can do a review for it. He was great as something Kaboom. What was his name?
Yeah, what was it?
Duke Kaboom. Duke Kaboom.
Yeah.
He was great as that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's stuff he's been good in. I mean, or decent in.
Yeah, he was great as Duke Kaboom. And I keep telling y'all, the movie The Gift, he was good in The Gift. He was great in The Gift.
He was good in Parenthood.
I haven't seen
with Steve
Parenthood.
Martin.
Oh, is he?
Ron Howard. Yeah, he's a small role, but he's good in it. He's very good in it.
Okay.
If you look at Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as a period piece, because the only thing that's going to be dated is the special effects and the
film quality.
Well, and also the lingo.
Oh, the lingo. Yeah.
Tubular and
right. I
think they actually say it.
Yeah, because they're from California, San Dimas.
In the early '90s.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it kind of you have to look at it as a '90s movie then.
Very
Absolutely.
much so.
Now that's interesting. They were just kids, man.
Yeah.
That's why and you can't. I'm not even looking at them like they're old now. It's just kind of like, man, they were just kids when they did that. And you see the contrast now.
Yeah, 30 years later.
Yeah. Well, I am eager to see this, man. And I will. Let me see when this is coming out. I will make an effort to see this, man. Coming out this summer. So expect a review for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh yeah.
For this one and the first one.
They just could have put him in a more flattering outfit to make him look. I don't know. I mean, just the outfit he's in, looks odd.
Well,
Doesn't look like something
the
Ted would
idea
wear.
is that they're just regular Joes.
Stuck in the '90s, like you said.
Well, I know, but I mean, like Bill looks like he
40
would.
people.
I know, and y'all are right. The chat said, "Corey, you age shaming." You're right. That's why I said I was sorry. I should not have done that. Don't cancel me, please. I'll put out a tweet tomorrow. I apologize for what I've done. I reflected on my ways, and I'm very sorry for that.
That's gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah. You start reflecting on ways. You're on the wrong path, my brother.
Let's stop age supremacy right now.